Okay, so chapter 17, it is, if you notice, it's like the video is 12 minutes long, but this is times 2 gameplay, and I also sped up the video by like 2 times the amount. So this was 48 minutes of gameplay. It was very, boring. I would say. This map is very long. I like to call it phases because of how long it takes in the parts of reinforcements and such. So this is phase 1. You don't have too many enemies coming towards you at the start of the map, but I wanted to go a little bit faster and clear some of the enemies faster, just because just less enemies to take care of is better. And I'm also throwing support with Selena and Camilla. So yeah, Xander's gonna handle the bottom section with Samurai, and I'm gonna have Camilla, Selena, and Sure for the top. And yeah, Sure is another unit I got. He's good. Like he got speed. I guess it's more like Xander's like the bulk, and Sure is the one who can like double shit. So yeah, you can see Sure is doing work right now. And if you see all those samurai there and ninjas, they can't do anything to Xander because his defense is too high. So I'm just gonna leave him there. Like there's no reason for me to kill him right now. Just let him stay there. They're not gonna do anything about it. They're just gonna stand there like idiots. And I'm gonna put Short in front of that puppet so that there's a master ninja and a mechanics there. So because the puppet's in front of Short, they can't attack him in one way. So they have to attack him in range, which will allow Short to counter them. So yeah, I just want to clear these enemies as fast as possible, and I do have like a soft time limit. It's not actually a time limit, but you see that I have sight, so he's slowly getting up, and I want him to be trapped in that treasure chest room. But first, obviously, I need the chest before I trap him. I mean, technically, I don't need to, but I just didn't want to think about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of those enemies, and then get sight in there, trap him, and then close and to close it. You just use dragonvein. Yeah. I guess like the developers decided like just trapped a guy there. Maybe it was intended. It would be nice if it was, but I guess like this feels more like he's supposed to help you, but then you get stuck, which is very stupid. But it happens. And like those puppets guys, they're not gonna move unless you're in range, so it's fine even though the door is wide open like that. And some of those master ninjas are gonna go the other way. I don't know exactly why. Actually, there is a reason, but it doesn't really make as much sense. Where it's like, because before they were just standing there, but now that there's a much longer way to get to my units, they decide to go now instead of before. So yeah, they're just standing there. And these two guys, they don't for some reason. It's weird. It's like some enemies have very specific AI, but in the end, it really doesn't matter because they all fucking died to Xander. And here, this is where it gets really slow because I just decide, just let those guys come over and I'll just kill them. And meanwhile, I just, decide to just have everyone surround Ozora to heal because you do, like heal staffs, they're not like that important, but I do need them later on in the game. So if I don't have to use them, I'm not going to use them. This is a good time. This map is very slow if you play like this. And it's okay, I mean, you could go a little bit faster, but for me, it's just it's slightly more resources, right? So like it's less than physically but more resources, and that's okay to me. Like, and I also take this time to just dance with Kaze because they are supporting with each other, and yeah. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. That's why obviously I also did ×2 speed because if it wasn't, it would take a very long time for to go through this, and it would be a lot of time, like a lot of minutes of me just freaking sitting there spamming wait as my units heal up and Azori dance for Kaze, and that's it. But after this part, like like second part of the map and third part of the map, there's not a lot going on. It's mostly just me using Xander. It is very boring, but at the same time, my units are getting really weak to the point where it's like Xander's really the only one that can handle set enemies like 1v1. Because as the maps go on and we get higher level, and my units are gonna get more EXP from that. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I just got there with it. And there were some times where you'd be like, oh, I could play even slower and feed some enemies more to my other units than Xander, so Xander doesn't get like an extra level up. But not only that, even slower is really not needed in the end. It doesn't really matter if Xander gets an extra level at the end of the map, because it's not like the strategy from later on requires him to be a specific level. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty terrible strategy. Just do what it works, and using Xander to just kill all these enemies works because he's the only one who can really 1v1 them, and the EXP he gets is negligible. And plus, if he gets like extra levels, that means that he gets less EXP the next map. So it kind of balances out. So yeah, it's gonna be very slow from this point on because obviously not only is Xander the only one capable of like enemy phasing most of these enemies, but also he doesn't take any damage. And you know, for these ninjas, I don't think maybe I could feed a kill or two, but they do have 1-2 range. So if I miss an attack, I'll probably get doubled and murdered. So yeah, I have to be very cautious if I want to feed kills, but overall I don't need to. You can kill everyone with Xander. He gets he's like level 6 at the end of the map. It doesn't matter. His defense is still way too high. I actually kind of wish his defense gets a little bit lower because it is a bit annoying when enemies don't attack him. Now for like this map, it's fine because I have all the time. But like for later maps, when there is like reinforcements or like time limits, it is a bit annoying when enemies ignore him since I do want to kill all of them. But it is fine. There are some ways to, you know, handle it. It's not the best ways. I mean, the only thing you can really do is make it as small as possible of his base. So it's like I have Xander equipped with Benny. I could, you know, take Benny off. I could, you know, take the Siegfried off of him and give him like a javelin. That's really all I could really do. But yeah, it's fine. So yeah, this is basically the rest of the map is gonna be Xander just like handling everyone else, and that's it. And here I guess this is like one instance where I can like feed a kill, but as I don't really do that much because you don't really need to. And here, you know, just waiting and then healing Xander. This was a very fun map to play. And just overall, it's just like, obviously you don't need to play like this. You could go a lot faster like this. It's just that for me, it just, I guess I just want to play a little bit slower. It's like, why not? It saves, you know, like, yeah. Yeah, there's not much to say when not much action is happening. But yeah, soon in a bit, yeah, but that's basically it for like my phase 1. Now it's the second part of my phase 2, and it's just gonna be me using Xander for everything. And the only really difference, the main difference here is that you'll see me trading Xander's partner like Arthur and Benny, because like if I need more speed to double, then I use Arthur. If I need more defense, then I switch to Benny, and that's about it. And there's also gonna be another second wave of reinforcements that will happen when after Xander kill these guys. There's gonna be like 4 enemies near the boss. If you interact with any of one of those, more reinforcement will appear. There will be sword masters at the top, and there will be mechanics in the like bottom right. And I think it's better to do it in the bottom right because as due to Xander's defense, like the samurai don't attack him, so it's gonna take longer, and then like those mechanics will slowly go up. But if you, for example, you know, do it here, where the mechanics can attack Xander, and with his shuriken debuff, he makes his defense go lower, then you know the enemies will suicide and the enemy phase, and it takes much longer for the sword masters to come towards you. And yeah, so I open chest, that's the master tier. I just give it to Niles, and I also buy an extra one for Corin after snap. It's just that like it's not really needed, but it's a good boost. Once Corin promotes, she gives 4 speed and then 3 strength with, and if like you're supported with her, then it's 5 strength, so it's pretty good overall. So here I'm gonna engage with these groups of enemies in a bit. Okay, there we go. So after that, now those guys appear, and here I just rally and then I speed. So now look, he can kill the mechanist, and then all the other enemies were suicide. Wait, they don't, but okay. So one of them didn't die, the other one didn't, like, you know, die, and the other one didn't, just completely avoided me. But it's okay. Now they're dead, or they're gonna be dead. But that guy's gonna be dead this turn. There we go. So now it's just me waiting, and I just in this choke point, and then just gonna kill all those sword masters. Because like like I said, Xander is really the only one who can like not die against them, I guess. And I do want to take no damage, because the thing is like those sword masters also have lunge, so even if I put like you know, maybe like I don't know who I would put up there, but if I maybe like Perry, she'll just get lunge, attacked by other units, and samurai sword master will be like have access to my group. So yeah, that's not good. So yeah, it's just important to just not take damage in this situation. And that's it. That's just me going through and slowly but surely getting through the map. And that's it for the second part. Now for the final part, it's just like those enemies up there and then the boss. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, and I just decided, you know, fuck it, I'll just use Xander to kill all of them. I don't care if I get away XP, man. And yeah, it's just Xander's all at this point. All the other units I brought, that was really only for like the first part of the map, because there were enemies coming towards you, and I did want to do a bit faster for, you know, Saizo to get trapped. But yeah, now that, you know, there's no time limit, it's just like this. This map is not bad. I'm not saying like, oh, this map is easy, because you can spend like 100 turns like freaking just doing all the shit. But it's more of the fact that it's like sure some of the enemies could be scary, but there's not a lot of diversity in terms of enemies. And even with like a unit like Xander, you just need to use Xander, and Xander can just handle all the enemies. So there's really no problem with that. So now Xander will handle this last group, and then it'll be finally the boss room. And first of all, I do wanna clear the enemies in the boss room. Most because Xander cannot handle Katawa on his own because of the flame shuriken. He gets one rounded, and no unit can like run round. So what I have to do is do a specific setup. But first, I need to get rid of those enemies there because they are pretty scary and they will shred any support units I have. So I do bring some units up. They are important to bring up, and then dance, rally, and then I switch for javelin because in terms of javelins, what's important is that you do need weapon triangle advantage because the swordmaster, he would take damage if you have the Siegfried equipped. He has a specific boost because he has swords, which is 4 attack. But if you have weapon triangle disadvantage, then he loses the 4 extra attack, which would means that it just takes no damage. So this is just me. We're going back from killing all these crap. And yeah, that's about it. And once that guy's dead, then I can go to the next part. Say he's dead. And then now all you have to do is use Shura. And 1v1 Shura cannot really do it as well, but that's why you want to use support for this, obviously. So I get all these other units up here. And then now what I want to do is I have Elise and Camilla over there. So that what happens is that because skills, they get 4 attack and defense. So sure, it's doing fine right now, but I could even further. I can use Spelling Song for more skill, more speed, and then I use Valley's defense and skill. And now sure, like there's no way that Shore can just die. It's gonna just eventually kill Kadaru, and that's it. Very very easy boss kill because it just shows how busted these supports are. So yeah. And yeah, that was Ninja Hill, 48 minutes. that was very fun.